3, 2, 1.
Erie Public Transportation Corporation is hereby called to order. The board certifies for the record. Certifies for the record that an executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-4-1.5.6.1b. We certify that the items discussed were related to information concerning issues that were posted on our executive session notice. The executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-14-1.5-6.1. We certify that the items discussed were related to information posted on our executive session notes. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
President Goffin.
Present.
Secretary Williams. Board Member McKenzie.
Present.
Board Member Ruby.
Here.
Board Member Baker.
Present.
Board Member Carr.
Present.
Board Member Johnson. Present. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 present. 0 absent.
Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval of the board meeting minutes dated July 9th, 2026. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? All right. All opposed? Motion carries. This time I will entertain a motion for approval of the general check register schedule dated July 1st to the 31st, 2026. So moved. Been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? That's not. All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will entertain a motion for approval of the Metro Center check register schedule dated July 1st to 31st, 2026, with the exception of checks 4886 and 4889. So moved. Second. It has been moved and properly second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will entertain a motion to accept the general manager and departmental reports as printed and stated in the package we were provided. So moved. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all for your board reports on tonight. We know we've held you here for quite a while. At this time, we will move into old business. Old business.
Three dance. Yeah.
Then
on tonight, we held you here for quite a while.
yes. I put forth a motion to approve the purchase of the ADA accessible vehicles via piggyback.
So moved. Second. Been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All opposed? Motion carries.
Pursuant to a resolution that was approved at the last meeting, to amend the bylaws and to add the vice chairman position, we do have an amendment to the bylaws. We adopted and restated the ones from 2016. It'll be for 2026 once it's approved. Section 5 is officers is going to appoint annually from time to time as required a chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. That's the addition, vice chairman. There is, just trying to be quick, but we can provide it for you all to read it. The chairman, indicates that the chairman shall not participate in or direct the day-to-day management or operational activities of the corporation except as expressly authorized by formal action of the board of directors as otherwise required by law. That's new. That the vice chairman shall assist the chairman in carrying out the duties and responsibilities of the office, including presiding over meetings of the board in the absence, disability, recusal, or temporary instability of the chairman to serve, assist the chairman in coordinating the work of board committees and special projects, monitor the implementation of board directives and report progress to the board as appropriate, assist with orientation of newly appointed board members and promote sound governance practices, and perform such additional duties as may be assigned by the chairman or by the action of the board of directors. If the office of chairman becomes vacant before the expiration of the chairman's term, the vice chairman shall serve as acting chairman until the board elects the chairman to serve the remainder of the expired term. The vice chairman shall only possess authority as delegated by these bylaws. The board of directors are applicable law. There is the secretary's position. It has been expanded, which includes the secretary shall certify resolutions, ordinances, and official actions adopted by the board, maintain the official records and corporate governance documents of the corporation, verify compliance with all statutory and bylaw notice requirements for meetings, coordinate official board communications with directors, legal counsel, and executive management, oversee the integrity and maintenance of official board document repositories, report governance, procedural, and record-keeping issues to requiring board attention, perform such additional duties as may be assigned by the board of directors in applicable law, and the secretary shall remain the official custodian of the records for the corporation. There is a section explicitly naming an administrative board secretary. That board secretary is a paid administrative position designated as administrative board secretary to provide clerical and administrative support to the board, including duties such as preparing and distributing meeting notices, preparing agendas and board meeting packets, recording and preparing minutes of board and committee meetings, maintaining records retention systems and board files, coordinating meeting schedules and logistics, providing administrative and clerical support to the board and its committees. The administrative board secretary shall serve under the direction of the board and shall not possess any voting authority or governance authority. Nothing contained in this section shall diminish or supersede the authority, responsibilities, or legal duties of the elected secretary of the board of directors. And then there's a new section about shared governance responsibility, that the governance of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation shall be collectively responsible, the collective responsibility, of the board of directors. No individual officer, director, committee chair, or board member shall be expected or authorized to independently perform or assume responsibility for all governance, compliance, financial oversight, legal oversight, operational oversight, procedural oversight, maintenance oversight, strategic planning, or fiduciary responsibilities of the corporation. The board shall exercise its authority collectively through duly adopted resolutions, ordinances, policies, committee recommendations, and official actions taken as properly noticed public meetings. Board officers shall work cooperatively with one another, the general manager, corporation counsel, and other authorized officials to ensure that governance responsibilities are carried out effectively, transparently, and in compliance with applicable law. And the allocation of responsibilities among board officers shall not diminish the collective fiduciary duties owed by all of the directors of the corporation. This is the amendment. It's under Article 5.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
I have a question about the part that's dealing with your assistant director. I mean, like, in the position of that person, whoever we choose, we have to take the direction, president
Or the board as a whole.
so
Yes.
won't have no authority over their own, just go out and do a thing, he or she.
The vice chairman shall possess only such authority as delegated by these bylaws, the board of directors, or applicable law.
We have a roll call on this.
Roll call. It needs to be.
At this time, it's been moved and properly second. Any additional discussion? Do a roll call vote.
President Goff?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Secretary Williams? Aye. Ruby?
Yes. Second.
Abstain. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. One abstention, it passes.
Motion carries.
All right.
Oh, no.
Okay, at this point in time, we'll move into new business. We'll start with approval of the statewide contract agreement. I'll entertain a motion to approve. That's the piggyback agreement. So moved. Second.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Roll call or just?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
By resolution?
Yeah.
Okay. There's another resolution ratifying modified vacation benefits for certain director level employees and clarifying vacation eligibility under the GPTC personnel policy. And I apologize in advance this time. Whereas the Gary Public Transportation Corporation Board of Directors has adopted personnel policies governing the terms and conditions of employment for GPTC employees, including provisions governing the accrual and use of vacation leave. And whereas the Board of Directors has delegated the negotiation of employment terms to appropriate board committees and management, subject to the board approval and consistent with adopted personnel policies. And whereas employment offer letters for the positions of Director of Human Resources Administration, Information Technology Director, and Deputy General Manager, Director of Operations were prepared and transmitted by the Chairman of the Board without prior review by the Personnel Committee, Corporation Council, or approval by the Board of Directors. And whereas those offer letters included a provision granting 20 days of vacation available immediately upon commencement of employment, which was inconsistent with the then GPTC personnel policy and has not been authorized or approved by the Board of Directors. And whereas the affected employees accepted their positions in good faith, reliance upon the terms contained in their respective offer letters. And whereas Personnel Committee subsequently met with the affected director level employees to address the discrepancy between the offer letters and the adopted personnel policy in an effort to equitably resolve the matter while preserving the integrity of GPTC's personnel policies, negotiated a compromise providing for 10 days of immediately available vacation leave during the employee's first year of employment only. And whereas the Personnel Committee has recommended that the board formally approve this limited one-time exception of recognition of the employee's reasonable reliance upon the offer letters, while reaffirming that all future vacation benefits shall be governed exclusively by the GPTC personnel policy as amended from time to time. And whereas the board finds that neither the prior offer letters nor this resolution creates any entitlement to payment for unused vacation leave contrary to the GPTC personnel policy. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation as follows: a one-time modification of the vacation benefits. Number two, the board hereby approves a one-time modification to the vacation benefits of the Director of Human Resources Administration, the Information Technology Director, and the Deputy General Manager, Director of Operations, providing each employee with 10 days of vacation leave immediately available during his or her first year of employment. 2, effective date. This modification shall become effective upon adoption of this resolution and shall apply only to employees identified herein. 3, future vacation benefits. Beginning after each affected employee's first year of employment, vacation accrual, eligibility, use, and payment shall be governed solely by the GPTC personnel policy as amended from time to time, and no further exception shall exist by virtue of the prior offer letters of this resolution. 4, no precedent. The board expressly declares that this resolution is intended solely to resolve a unique circumstance arising from unauthorized terms included in employment offer letters. This resolution shall not constitute precedent, shall not amend the personnel policy generally, and shall not authorize any further deviation from board-approved employment policies without prior approval of the Board of Directors. 5, authority to approve employment terms. The board reaffirms compensation, benefits, leave, and other material terms and conditions of employment that differ from the adopted personnel policy must be reviewed by the Personnel Committee, reviewed by Corporation Council when appropriate, and approved by the Board of Directors becoming effective. 6, vacation payment upon separation. The board further reaffirms that under the GPTC's personnel policy, longstanding GPTC practice, and applicable employment standards. Employees who are terminated for cause or who resign without providing notice required under the personnel policy are not entitled to payment for unused vacation leave except as expressly required by personnel policy or applicable law. Accordingly, the board determines that the former director of Human Resources Administration is not entitled to payment for 20 days of vacation leave referenced in the unauthorized employment letter because 1, 20 days vacation benefit was never authorized or approved by the board of directors and was inconsistent with the adopted personnel policy. 2, the board has approved only the limited modification contained in this resolution. 3, the employee's separation from employment does not satisfy the requirements of the personnel policy for payment of unused vacation leave. And 4, no contractual and equitable basis exists requiring GPTC to pay 20 days of vacation leave beyond the benefits lawfully authorized by the board. Ratification. Except as specifically modified by this resolution, all provisions of the GPTC personnel policy remain in full force and effect. Be it further resolved that this policy shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the board of directors adopted this 6th day of August 2026. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Board Member Baker,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson,
Yes.
Board Member Carr,
Yes.
Board Member Ruby,
Yes.
Board Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Secretary Williams, yes. President Goff.
Yes. Motion carries.
Mr. President, pursuant to the resolution, I move that the Gary Public Transportation Corporation Board of Directors deny the former Director of HR and Administration request for payment of 20 days of vacation because the board previously determined that the employee was separated from employment for just cause, and pursuant to GPTC's personnel policies, employees separated for just cause are not eligible for payment of the requested vacation.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Roll call.
Roll call.
This one.
President Goffin,
Yes.
Secretary Williams, yes. Board Member McKenzie.
Yes.
Board Member Ruby,
Yes.
Board Member Baker,
Aye. Yes.
Board Member Carr,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson.
Yes. Mr. President, I make a motion to accept a contract for HR professional services.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor? All right.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, I move that the Personnel Committee recommend the Board Secretary to fill the HR Coordinator position effective August 6, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
Roll call.
Roll call vote, please. Madam Secretary.
Yes. President Goffin,
No.
Secretary Williams, I abstain. Board Member McKenzie,
No.
Board Member Ruby,
Yes.
Board Member Baker.
Sorry. Yes. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Board Member Carr
Yes.
and Board Member Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. President, I move that the Gary Public Transportation Corporation Board of Directors appoint the Planning and Marketing Manager as interim GM effective August 6, 2026, to serve until a permanent general manager is appointed or until the board takes further action.
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, I motion to establish the position of Director of Planning and Marketing.
Second.
Second.
So move first.
So
She
moved.
just made the motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Seeing all in favor,
Aye.
all opposed.
All right.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, I'm going to make a motion to ratify the professional services agreement with Cinder and Dalton.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor,
Aye.
all opposed. Motion carries.
Mr. President, I would like to, present a motion to reduce the budget by $1.2 million in the drafted initial budget, with the understanding that the budget can be increased at a later date with anticipated grant funding is received.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor,
Aye.
motion.
All right.
All opposed.
Any opposed?
None. Motion carries.
Motion to approve the initial drafted budget presented by financial consultant Cinder and Dalton.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor,
Aye.
all opposed. Motion carries.
Mr. President, Safety Committee would like to propose a resolution establishing emergency procedures representative for GPTC facilities based upon recommendation of executive management. Whereas the Gary Public Transportation Corporation is committed to providing a safe environment for its employees, passengers, visitors, contractors, and the public, and whereas emergency preparedness requires designated personnel who are knowledgeable in emergency response procedures, facility evacuations, coordination with police, fire, and emergency medical services, and all other emergency operations, and whereas federal OSHA regulations require employers to maintain emergency action procedures and identify responsible personnel for emergency response activities, and OSHA recommends designated personnel to coordinate emergency preparedness and evacuations, and whereas management has recognized that GPTC designate emergency procedures representatives at each major operating facility to improve emergency preparedness, communication, and coordination. And one final, whereas the board of directors finds that assigning trained representatives at each primary facility will strengthen GPTC's emergency readiness and improve coordination with its first responders. Therefore, let it be resolved by the board of directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation. Section 1, establishment of positions. GPTC shall maintain an emergency procedures representative at each of the following facilities: 1, GPTC Metro Center; 2, GPTC 35th Avenue Operations and Maintenance Facility. Duties: each emergency procedures representative shall serve as a primary on-site point of contact during emergencies and shall, as appropriate, coordinate emergency procedures and facility evacuations, serve as the primary liaison with police, fire, EMS, and other emergency response agencies, assist with implementation of GPTC's emergency action plan, coordinate emergency drills and preparedness exercises, report identified safety hazards, and recommend corrective actions, promote employee awareness of emergency procedures, coordinate with management regarding emergency preparedness training and updates, with the qualifications of OSHA 10-hour general industry training, OSHA 30-hour general industry training, or obtain such training within a reasonable period established by management following appointment. Additional emergency preparedness training, including CPR, first aid, AED, incident command system, or national incident management system courses, is encouraged when appropriate. The general manager or highest ranking executive manager or director employed shall designate the individual serving as emergency procedures representative for each facility and shall notify board of directors of each appointment and any subsequent changes. The emergency procedures representative shall not exercise managerial authority beyond emergency preparedness responsibilities and shall not supersede the authority of emergency responders, the general manager, or other management officials, except as specifically provided under GPTC emergency procedures. The general manager is directed to implement this resolution, ensure that designated representatives receive the required training, and maintain current emergency response procedures for each facility.
Second. What that is. I'll just take a second.
So moved. Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any discussion?
President, do we have anything on the book that addresses what he just read?
So there
I mean, you know,
there are some efforts that the current operations manager is undergoing to ensure that we meet the safety standards that we need to meet as an organization, especially now while we are should have a person filling a safety role, but due to previous management moves, that position was vacated. If you like, I can give the manager of operations a moment on the floor to address why we need the position.
okay.
You want this position?
Yes.
You need it for administration purposes to make sure it all boils down to if a fire breaks out or some type of emergency, we have to make sure we have all our people out. We can't have the fire department come and ask and everyone get out and say no, no. So you have to have drills, you have to have a designated person to say where each department goes, which stairs they walk down, someone to count down. It's for emergency.
Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. This time I'll present to the board a motion to not extend the option for CWIT PR and contract previously held with GPTC.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I want to take a second and congratulate Mr. Wright on your appointment to interim general manager. We know that you would do great things. Many great things were said about you prior to us coming to this point.
Those checks clear.
See, talk to the person sitting next to you. All right. Thank you. We look forward to what you're doing these next coming days. This time we will move to public comment.
Yeah, that's something. So, good evening to the board and management. I was intending to bring this up at the last board meeting. One of the buses I ride, I can't think of that number, 2202 or 2262. The screen don't work on the bus. If your passengers ride, you gotta let the driver know where you want to get on. And my next comment, I know that you got some buses down on South Broadway. Been running once an hour. Do you know when you're gonna be able to have the buses back on the streets?
We thank you again, Mr. McKinney. That is something that our operations manager is working on daily, and I will tell you that we are in a better place than what we have been in a long time, thanks to the talent and skills that she has brought to this department. So it is in progress. I can't give you a definitive answer on that end part of your question.
Who can we direct him to get that?
Well, the one thing I will say is it is being worked on. We actually have a shortage of that right now. We have a requisition for 3%. Most people have. It is.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
My name is Carol Douglas. I'm Secretary Treasurer of the Amalgamated Transit. All I would like to know is just when our contract will be signed.
That is, again, another question that we cannot currently answer, but it is in progress. We have started the process with CBA. There's some things that we need to work through. Any other public comment?
Yeah, I'm Ruben Espinoza, mechanic. Wondering what's going on with all the parts holding that we need to work on these buses. Not even that, we need better lifts, ramps, a lot of things in that garage that we need to take care of immediately. And buses, we only could do so much, like she already said, thank you, more mechanics, because I'm really working to keep the buses going and vans. A lot of stuff got to do with finance, but a lot of stuff we taking parts off another bus that need to be fixing. Is there any way I can get them buses to get fixed somewhere else that we can take care of right now? But a lot of people complain when we going, trying to keep the route going. And wonder what's going on with that too.
Well, dealing with majority of what you're asking right now, the appropriate way for us to deal with it would be to go back to the director of transportation
Okay.
and director of operation, so that they can know, because they will be the person who would know firsthand what's going on to deal with that and present those requests as they're needed. So we lean towards those people, and we're working towards a lot of things right now. So a whole lot of things, as you can hear tonight. So
Why do the meetings be late? Why can't it start like the regular time?
because it's a lot of business to take care of. If we rush and don't get
I
take
mean,
care
I'm just rushing at the time to start.
if
Like
we
going to
rush,
work late. That's late.
You want to hit a solution?
okay, all right.
At least I can rest it up.
If we rush and don't take care of the business that needs to be
Right.
taken care of, then you won't get resolution to any of your problems at all. So we would rather take care of the issues while we're here in executive session to make sure everything is ratified and done, so that we can, because we have to discuss those in executive session. Otherwise, it's going to be a no to everything you ask for, because we won't have an opportunity to discuss it and go over it.
Y'all just come in early and then.
Oh, we do.
Just come in,
We've adjusted. We've adjusted our meeting time. We've
Yeah.
adjusted our executive session time. The more stuff we have to deal with.
It just has three
I mean, we could just start denying and saying no to everything y'all need.
Seems like it is,
That's a resolution
to be
too.
And sir, to be honest with you, remember, just like you have a daytime job, so do we. So we have to work our daytime jobs before we
When I be
come
there
in and do
early,
this.
I gotta be there on time.
Not a mandatory meeting.
Correct. Mandatory for us, not mandatory for you, sir.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I do appreciate your time and your patience. I would not prefer to be here for 2 to 3 hours. However, the work that we do is very important. And the conversations that we have to have behind session and executive session, it's just what we have to do, sir. And we are doing our best to make sure that this corporation is on track to improve. You have someone who rides the bus behind you. You work at the bus depot. Everything we do, we're trying to do it to make the corporation better. So us taking our time here today, trust me, I would have rather been somewhere else. Just kidding. I love here. I love it because we are making a difference. I don't know if you can tell it, but we really try. And I think as time goes on, we will try to improve. But there are some times where we are going to be stuck in this room for hours, discussing, talking to each other, trying to come up with solutions to the very problems that you all are bringing up. But I do appreciate your patience, and we'll try to do better.
Any other public comment? This time I will move to what we get involved in, waiting for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Right?